I've had people call me and say, Steve, I just had my worst day, and this employee quit, and I had 2 customers that yelled at me, and you're the guy I thought of to call. I've heard it many times where a lot of these guys are just going like, I'm working my tail off for less money. Now I'm so stressed out and blah, blah, blah. Well, you've got to really look at that. I say, okay, how much do you want to make? And they go, I want to make $1 million. I went, okay. And right now they're making we'll just say 100,000. But that's bottom line profit. But then I go, okay, because, you've got sales, you've got your costs, human labor or an office and whatever else. So to get to $1 million, you might need to be not just 10 times, it could be 7 or 8 times the size that you are now. And that's part of the break-even analysis that we do sometimes. Okay, so that means instead of revenues of 800,000, we're going to have revenues of $7 or $8 million maybe. Okay, just for a number. And I go oh, yeah, that means you have to have 20 or 30 people on staff and whatever their business is. And it does vary by business, but they get a little freaked out by that and says, okay, well, let's lower the threshold a little bit. Maybe someday we'll get there, but not tomorrow. We sat down. In fact, it was exactly the same thing of do I continue to do insurance or do I just go private pay? Am I going to accept insurance or am I just going to do the private pay customers only? Or obviously a mixture of those. Factor in who do you want to be? Do you want to be somebody that spends time with their clients, that if you're with an insurance company, they're only going to pay $50 for the appointment? Or are you going to try and do a lot of churning and do 4 or 8 appointments an hour with your tech, and you're just running in, double checking a couple things and running back out again to try and make it that way, and then push work down to lower levels? And all of that kind of factors into it and how you're going to do it. With insurance, I know some people are starting to get out of accepting insurance because they figured the amount of time with a customer, let's just say 20 minutes in total in that block of time, you can do 3 of those. So and they're only paying $50 for that customer. Well, it's not just that 15 or 20 minutes that they're in-house. It also is on the back end of turning around and billing all of that to the insurance company. And you have to try to just kind of figure out the dollars per person that you're earning in that time. Really look at that and say, okay, well, for this insurance company, maybe you only work with 1 or 2 instead of 8. Okay. And then you've got Medicare thrown in on top of all that too. So then also factor in an overhead cost to see, is it worth it? I can't tell you how important that is, because you've got competition, and how are you going to compete, and which levels are you going to compete at? How are you going to find customers? And their ads, a lot of those can go on TV. Well, small businesses, we can't afford to do that. So where are we going to go to try and get our niche and target those people? So how to do that. And you as an individual, you're going to be doing dollars, how much money am I making by employee? And how much money am I making on my advertising dollars? But if you don't do the insurance, because they typically kind of bring the customers themselves, the customers are going, hey, I know Dr. Joe is accepted to my plan. So I'll go see Dr. Joe, and that's how they get a lot of their clients. Well, then there's the other side. If you go totally private pay, you don't have that stream for marketing, and you've got to become a marketer and spend a bunch more money to get clients back in the door again. So what is right? It's kind of a case-by-case basis. So there's a longer story to it, but he just it was just a good time for him to kind of cut the cord.
Maximize your eye clinic's success with expert guidance from a local CPA experienced in accounting. Streamline your finances, boost profitability, and secure growth. Call us today.